Let's start with a little known fact. First of all, have you seen Hamilton?
Yes.
Okay. My favorite character in Hamilton is King George III.
Okay.
The song he sings. What does it go?
I saw it such a long time ago. I don't remember. Yes.
So I love that part. So King George III, and I'm going to relate this to Queen Elizabeth, right?
Okay.
The one who just died. That was her third great-grandfather.
Wow.
Yeah, and one thing we're going to talk about in the show is they trace the generations of the royal family back 1,000 years.
1,000 years. It was so cool to see that family tree. It was incredible.
I wonder if Queen Elizabeth and Prince H and Prince Harry, I wonder if they're a little salty about how we treated their third great grandfather. I wonder if they're a little bitter still.
Oh, possibly.
Imagine seeing your third great grandfather represented in Hamilton. That's my great grandfather.
Oh, that is hilarious.
All right, let's start the show. Hey everyone, this is Luther Palmer.
And I'm Jovita Scott.
And welcome to One Episode Stand, a podcast where each episode we watch and discuss the series premiere of a new television show.
And then, like the Rolling Stones we move on to the next show. Everybody's out here having one-night stands, but we are having one-episode stands.
We love them and leave them. We smash and dash, but we do it for you, the listeners, to help you figure out what new shows to watch and what shows to skip. All right, we are talking today about, is it called Harry and Meghan, or is it Meghan and Harry, or?
It's Harry and Meghan, I think.
How sexist of them. How are they going to just put his name first everywhere?
Well, and you really are supposed to put the woman's name first.
Yeah, right? That's weird.
You are, but it is definitely Harry and Meghan.
It's on Netflix, right? And it's like an hour? Each one was an hour?
Yeah, it's like 55 minutes each.
And I wouldn't call it a documentary. I get very particular about documentaries because if you are writing and telling about your own story, I'm like, is it really a documentary? Because you're going to paint yourself in a favorable light.
It's going to be full of your bias.
So I guess it's like a autobiography kind of thing.
Yeah, a biographical series.
Right, but done by them though,
Yes.
not by an outside voice.
Yes.
And that was a little bit one of my beefs with this. It was very positive about them. And
but the case that they're making is that you've heard the other side of the story. Now hear it from our point of view.
I didn't hear the other side of the story because do you remember?
You're like, because I don't care.
Do you remember when you recommended this show? Do you remember what my first response was?
Yeah, you were like, "Do we have to?" I'm like, Luther, everybody on planet Earth is watching this.
Oh man! All right. So, what did you know about? Usually we say the show, but what did you know about this couple? Did you watch the wedding?
Of course.
Did you know all the things?
I knew all the things. I was following.
Really?
I mean, just because she is a black woman. I was interested. I'm not interested in the royal family any other time. I did not watch his brother's wedding. I was not interested in that.
Okay, so you're not a royal watcher.
No. On the back end, I heard about Pippa's dress, and I was like, let me go see what the dresses look like. So, yeah I'm not a royal watcher or follower. I haven't been that interested in the royal family, but because Meghan is black, she is American. That is what got me
I think
interested.
She's Canadian. I think at some point she said the paparazzi
follow them into, yes.
Which is one of my favorite words, by the way, paparazzi.
You love paparazzi.
Just we say media. We don't really, we only say paparazzi in regard to European media. But we just say media. Paparazzi.
The press, the media.
Yeah. I didn't know anything.
You didn't know anything about that.
I knew that she was black. I intentionally turned my head away from the television when anything about the royal family is on. I have deep-rooted disdain,
so
not just for the royal family. Right, yeah, not just for the royal family, but for Britain for tolerating and this foolishness and for themselves being so interested. And one of the things that the show talked about is just how interested people are in this family. And I'm like, why?
Yes.
Like
who cares?
Let them go. Let them. But then also it talked about how the family actively continues to put themselves in the news.
They all have a press office, and they try to keep themselves in the press as much as possible.
Okay. How did the show look, sound, and feel?
I was a little bit surprised that the show was a combination of like a Hollywood level production, like beautiful production, and their FaceTime videos. That was really surprising. It gave you a really interesting look at them. Mm-hmm. Things you wouldn't have seen, pictures you wouldn't have seen. I liked that as opposed to just the production of like, I look fabulous, I've got perfect lighting, I'm sitting here in my beautiful home. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it was a mix of that. It was also a going back in time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they went all the way back to his grandmother's, Queen Elizabeth's coronation. Like they went all the way back and played clips of that. Mm-hmm. They showed and I think so. I would say this first episode was really about how they fell in love, like their love story. Mm-hmm. And their love story necessarily involved the paparazzi. And they kind of like showed how this thing became like how the paparazzi operates, why they are so bloodthirsty all the time, what Princess Diana,
the scene where Diana is on the slopes and she just like goes up and puts her hand over the camera. She's so mad and she's just I'm a mother. Please let me protect my children. And they are like, we don't care. Like, wait, no. The guy was like,
oh yeah. He said, yeah, just let me get this one picture of you with him. And she was like,
they didn't care.
And she's like, I'm appealing to you as a parent. He was like, yeah, no, I get that. And I'll leave after I just get this one pose. And she's like, no.
She's like, you don't get it. I am a mom telling you to stop taking pictures of my children.
And then he said, like, this is H. How'd you feel about that nickname, H?
Very strange. and H and has. H-A-Z has.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't understand that either. But especially to hear Meghan call him H, it just sounded so bizarre. I'm like, his name is not that long. Harry does not need to be abbreviated.
I thought it might have been a carryover from them talking about him in secret.
Maybe
right?
So.
Like, are you going to see H? Like, they can't really say Harry because I guess when you say Harry, I'm going to see Prince Harry. Are you a cuddly nickname person with your spouse?
Not cuddly nickname, but definitely nickname that's a proxy for your name. Like I call my husband Babe. And it's so funny because all of my kids have at one point also started calling their dad Babe when they were little because they just heard all the time and they would be like, Babe. And I'm like, no, kids. No, that's not how it goes.
I had an aunt who called her husband Daddy because that's what the kids, and I was just like, that doesn't sit well for me. Disturbing. As I got older and I started realizing like, there's another usage of Daddy. Yeah. Like
they were like, this works for us all around.
Oh man.
Are you a like poopsie whoopsie type of person, or you just call your person by their name?
I never call my wife by her first name. Never.
Yeah.
It's always like it. Like I have 3 or 4 nicknames that I go in between. So her maiden name. Can I say this on air? Can I say her maiden name? Are people going to stalk her? Is the paparazzi
like,
listening to this podcast? So her maiden name is Rochester. So I'm always like Rocco, Rocky, Rochester. I call her Rochester all the time. Like we were friends for a long time before we got married. And the name Rochester, I just love that name. So I'll say Rochester.
It's a good name.
I call her Rochester. I would say 8 out of 10 times I call her Rochester. Because it's a good name.
It's a good name.
Now let's get into like what is this show really about? Like, what were the themes that they tried to articulate in this episode?
Yeah. So, of course, to your point, this is like the evolution of their love story. So you're getting the backstory on their love, but it is situated in a much bigger theme, which is Harry's decision to break the mold of a 1,000-year tradition of being in the royal family, and what that meant for him to make that decision, the pressure and the repercussions.
Yeah.
So for me, the larger theme was breaking the family mold.
Did that resonate with you on a personal level in any way?
Yeah. I mean, I think that my parents, and you know how I talk about my sweet parents.
Yes.
These two, they were primo. They were great. And so one thing that, I mean, certainly it was not leaving a royal family by any stretch.
Right.
But like my parents really valued the pursuit of education. So all of their moves basically from the South were about education. They moved to West Virginia so my dad could get a master's. They moved to Pittsburgh so my mom could get a master's and then ultimately a doctorate. And so for them, like the way out of the sort of rural South and the relative poverty that they both grew up in was the pursuit of education. It was this whole, like, if you have education, like that's the one thing that can't be taken away from you.
Yeah.
And my career path, though successful, took me through a bachelor's degree and nothing else.
Oh.
And so my dad especially just could not give me credit for being successful because I hadn't done what they had done. So I would be like working for an organization and I would be like the VP of whatever.
Right.
And my dad would go, you know when they're really going to respect you? When you get a master's. Like, dang on it, Daddy.
Wow.
And he would be like, I mean, eventually it's going to be a problem. And I'm like, Daddy, they knew I didn't have a master's when they hired me.
Eventually it's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a problem. And he just couldn't ever give me credit for being successful because I had not picked up the mantle that was important for them.
Interesting.
And moved it forward. So, yeah, again, not a departure from the royal family, but definitely a departure from
the things that they
like
thought,
a serious value.
The things that they thought, this is what you need to be successful in life.
This is what you must have to be successful in life. Exactly.
And you said, no thanks. But now my parents also were the same way. Like both of my parents have advanced degrees. They pushed that hard. And I wonder if that generation of Black Americans.
Of course.
Now, were your parents educated? And see, neither were mine. Neither were mine.
Yeah.
So my I think my grandparents or parents, however you want to say it. I think they were both they were pro education and they educated a lot of their children, and then I think their children,
because it's something they didn't have.
Yeah. And then on to us, like, get educated. Now me and my siblings, none of us sort of bucked that trend because we all got advanced degrees because our parents.
Dr. P.
Our parents were so like when your grades came out. That was a major day
on it.
In our house.
It was an event in the home.
It was major. And there was either going to be cash rewards or there were going to be punishments
consequences,
and withholding consequences and repercussions about the grades because they were so pro-education.
Yes.
So for me, I think one of the things I thought about is I feel like my parents and my family have 1,000 years of legacy in their religious beliefs. And I'm not all the way in like I was. Like I have had to, and there have been tough conversations. And I think about when Harry first went to his family and said, here's how I'm feeling, here's what I'm thinking. The first thing I thought was he doesn't have his mom. Your mom is like, and I don't want to say is always, because I know people have difficult relations with their mother. But like moms and sons, she would have supported him.
She would have supported him, and she would have advocated for him. She would have gone ahead of him.
Right,
yes.
But I thought about like those difficult conversations, and I've had some difficult conversations with my family about faith and belief and religion, and I'm very much on the outside looking in. Based upon that, and just like the royal family, like their whole identity is this thing. Like a lot of my family's identity is centered on religious belief and faith, and it's like a hard pass for me.
Well, and I appreciate what you said about the difficult conversations, because it's like anytime you're making a departure from the family's values, like at some point you have to acknowledge it, right?
Right.
You can kind of decide it and live in it for a while without saying anything, but eventually you have to have the hard conversation. Right. And I cannot imagine the magnitude of that when you are saying to your royal family, I'm out. And like, who does that?
But it was interesting because it's not only I'm out, but the way that they told the story was very much love at first sight. Or maybe not love at first sight, maybe love at first date. Maybe that's a better way.
I think for him it was love at first sight. Imagine he pursued her because he saw her in someone's Instagram reel, and he was like, who is that? Yeah.
And the show was also about, like, they had this long distance relationship. So the show was kind of about how they built this relationship sort of off the grid, because they knew once the paparazzi got the hold of it. It's interesting. You talked about how your parents had 11 years before they had kids.
Yeah.
In a similar way, they wanted to establish and get to know each other.
Had this bubble
before the media got involved, because they knew that all hell would break loose and it'd be much more difficult. So, long distance relationship. My wife and I had a long distance relationship. It was hard.
Okay.
It was the most painful. I don't think I've experienced pain at that level since. I mean, it like wanting to be with someone
and you can't.
Can't. I almost ended our relationship. Like even though I knew, and Natasha and I also have a very, I'm not going to say love at first sight, because I was in love at first sight. She was not in love at first sight. But we had an instantaneous connection. And it actually, when we reconnected later in life, the second that she came to visit. So I said, we had talked on the phone like every day for a month, and I was like, well, come visit. From the first visit, I knew in my mind that I'm going to marry this person. Like, this is it. I'm going to marry this person.
This is it.
And then we had to do the long distance thing, and we did it for a year and a half. And it was just hard. It was hard. It was unbelievable.
Well, I also had long distance relationships, and mine were actually about not wanting the natural end to come. Right? So I had a boyfriend in high school who I dearly, dearly loved. And we decided, like, even though we're not going to go to the same college, we're going to try to keep this thing together.
Oh,
which was
bless
like,
your heart.
come on, guys.
Bless your little heart.
Come on, guys. What were we thinking? I remember being in college and, like, my freshman year, we're getting approached by guys, and I'd be like, no, I have a boyfriend back at home. And that was ridiculous. And then I turned around and did the same thing when I graduated from college.
When we were in college at Oakwood, as a guy on the other side of this thing, when a girl would come and say, oh, I have a boyfriend back home, we would say, okay, we'll give you 4 weeks. We'll give you 4 weeks. It's going to end.
Like, I'll come back in a month.
I'll just circle back in a month. Because it's going to end. Like,
I'll circle back.
Like, we used to be like, who's doing that? Like, who is trying that?
I was. I was trying it. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Even the couples that came, that both came
the couples
together.
That came together.
They're not going to make it.
You're like, bump that.
Now,
You're never going to make it.
I know one couple They dated in high school. They came to Oakwood. They've been married now 20 years. Like, they were the only
they made it.
couple that made it. Amongst thousands who tried that foolishness.
Thousands who tried. Yes. Well, I'm among the foolish because I tried it.
Who were you dating when you left Oakwood? Whisper it to me. Who were you dating when you left Oakwood?
Not whisper it to you. No.
Who was it? I don't remember who you were dating when you left.
I was actually dating this guy who we didn't go to the same high school, but he was a PK, and he was
pastor's kid.
But yeah, he was my love.
But I'm talking about when you left Oakwood. Like, who were you dating?
Oh, when I left Oakwood. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'm not going to whisper that to you either.
Wait a minute. Are you ashamed of your dating past?
Oh, no. No. I don't want him to get called out. He might be ashamed that he dated me. I don't know.
I'm trying to think now who you were dating at the time.
Okay.
So how long did it last? How long did it last after you left?
It lasted a year.
Oh, that's a long time.
It lasted a year.
Now, did you
we really gave it the old college try?
But now, was he still at Oakwood, or did y'all go separate ways? How did that?
He was still in school.
Okay.
He was still in school.
Man.
Yeah.
I need to put my thinking cap on and remember who this gentleman was. Since he's unnamed, we can talk more about the situation. Were you all thinking about marriage?
I mean, I don't think we were saying we were going to get married, but I think we were thinking this is kind of my person. Like, we get each other, we love each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I'm glad you said my person, because that was also a theme of the show, that they had found their person.
Their person in the world.
Do you believe in the concept of the one?
Yes and no.
As a person who's been married and divorced several times.
Please, okay, don't. What I was going to say, whatever is going to come out of your mouth is going to be trash. That's a lie. I hope I was able to preempt it and talk over it. Okay, so my answer is yes and no, because I believe that there are many ones.
Okay.
And when you find that one, they are the one.
Wait.
I think there's
if
many
there are
possibilities
many ones,
in life.
Then you can't say you believe in the one.
Yeah, but I do, because then when you're when you find that one, they are the one, even though a different set of circumstances could have led you to another.
Okay, so there are
who then
multiple people that exist in the world that you could be happy. So it was like when you talk to your daughter, you would say, there are many people in the world who you could have a long, happy marriage and relationship with. Okay, all right. See, I think that means you don't believe in the one. Like, I think
really?
I think the one means there's
only one person in the world,
and I am hoping to encounter that person, and I don't want to squander. Like, if I meet the one in college, I don't want to squander that opportunity, because I'll never meet someone again who I could have had.
But don't you think that leads to bad decision making, though? Like, if you really think, I'm not the one person. You don't believe in that.
But that is the traditional idea of there is one person.
One person.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we've gotten away from saying the one, but people now say my person. Like, you're my person. You're my person. Like, in the world, like, out of 7 billion people, you're my person. I'm like, my person. I mean, I get it. Like, it's a little bit fairy tale-ish, like marriage itself the idea is a little bit fairy tale-ish, but people go with it. Okay. More or less, what do you want to see more of or less of in this series?
I like them. I like them as a couple. I want to see more of their love story. Like, I like their family. I want to see more of their kids. Like, I appreciate any man who is going to get on a docuseries or whatever and declare, like, his love at the height that Harry loves Meghan. Like, I think it's they appear to be really in love, and I like love. I love love. So I'm interested in their love story.
Yeah.
What about you?
I want to see more. I want to see more criticism. Like I think it was one-sided. So one of my problems is they talk about being hounded by the media and wanting privacy, and then you put out a documentary series about your life. And I just feel like there's a conflict here, because you could have disappeared into the Canadian, mountainside, right? But
right.
Now here you are choosing to create a film which draws people to you, right? Like you say, like you love and you love them. Their story is so beautiful. So now you've created another generation of people who can't get enough of you. So now,
that's true.
When the media is following you, you have created it. You're no better than the royal family, who has their own media offices. Like to me, I didn't see enough criticism. Like there was a lot of criticism of the media, right? And there was some criticism of the royal family. Like I didn't see enough critique of this is what you all have made. Like you all made this. You all made the media this way. And now you must lie in it. You made your bed, now you must lie in it.
Yeah.
And now you're making your own bed now for a new generation.
I disagree. Like I don't think you can attribute the behavior of the British press to Harry and Meghan, Meghan and Harry. Like you think about, like, I went back to that scene in my mind where after Harry has walked behind the coffin of his mother, he's encouraged to smile and shake hands.
Yeah.
Like he has been part of the institution and it was created long before him.
Right.
I think this is really just two people saying, look, we are who we are. There's always going to be interest. We actually want our side of the story to be told. And I think they started it with their Oprah special. I think they're now expanding it with this. I just think they want to tell their own story, and they want it to be rooted in their love story and not the royal family.
If you choose to do that, then don't get mad at the media, because you created the hype, right? Like now they have created the hype because they are the it couple, right? Like they're one of the it couples.
Globally, they are.
So now everywhere you go, there's going to be a strong media presence because you have invited us into the intimacy of your relationship.
Of your life. Well, so. I'm in for it, though. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Okay. Marry, kill, or one night stand. I
would marry Harry.
I was gonna say.
I mean, I was gonna say, unless you're gonna give me Meghan.
No, I'm gonna
marry Harry.
I'm gonna say Harry. Harry, you're all in on Harry.
I just think that he is a genuine person.
Yeah.
He seems like a genuine person, and he clearly is in love with his wife, which, like, what wife doesn't want that? Like, he's not afraid to publicly say it. He's made a whole docuseries about it.
Right.
Like, I'd marry him. He seems like a sweet guy.
Yeah, I like Harry. Like Harry came off,
Harry.
But then here, so I guess I was thinking, I like this guy, but he made the movie about himself, right? So of course it's gonna be likable. Like that was my conflict. Like, of course he comes off as likable because we only got the likable side of him.
So here's what I'm gonna say to that. Like, I liked him before this docuseries because he was willing to stand up for his wife in a way that caused him to literally leave behind his entire family, his royal responsibilities for the woman that he loved. So I was into him before he was telling us that he was a good guy. I thought he was a good guy. Okay, so now my question to you is, marry, kill, or one night stand. And I was about to be stupid and tell you the journalist is interviewing them, but I'm not going to do that. Of course, I give you Meghan.
I would one night stand Meghan.
You would. Okay. Well, okay.
It feels strange to say that about someone's wife because these are real people. Like usually we're talking about like fictional characters.
Right, we're talking about fictional characters.
like Harry, I would one night stand your wife. Like that's what I'm saying. She is a little like, how do I say this? I did not vibe with her energy. I'll say it that way. There's nothing about her that I can say, oh, this is a thing I don't like. She did come across as genuine. She did come across as kind. She did come across as thoughtful. But for some reason, I just the energy was off for me. And I think, what I think though is good for them because they have energy that matches. But it wasn't for me. But on the strength of her beauty, she would
good
be
looks. I was going to say she is beautiful. I mean, her hair. I was like, Megan, what products are you using? Your hair is looking amazing.
Right.
Her hair was on point.
Yo, real quick, did you notice that one of her friends' name was Silver Tree?
I did. I was like, okay, Silver, you're just gonna go with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like.
I think Silver renamed herself. Her name is probably like Melissa.
Well, I was jealous because I was like, I didn't know that Silver Tree was a possible name that we can use. Like, I need to rethink. I need to reevaluate my name because Silver Tree. It's like, wow, Silver Tree. Okay, like I'm not mad at Silver Tree.
It was a good name.
It's a great name, Silver Tree.
Yeah, she gave it to herself. I do believe.
If I met someone named Silver Tree, I would be like
intrigued.
Yeah,
I want to know them.
Yeah, I want to know who you are. I want to know your life story. Like I want to know all the things about you.
Let me stop what I'm doing today
like, you
and
meet
get
someone
to know
named
you.
Luther, you're like, oh, okay, whatever, dude. But like, my name is Burgundy.
Silver. No, not Burgundy.
My name is Burgundy.
Don't choose Burgundy.
My name is Burgundy Desk.
Don't choose Burgundy. Please don't.
Burgundy Desk is my I'm gonna tell someone when you go to a restaurant, they say, can I get a name for it? Burgundy.
Burgundy.
What? Huh? Burgundy.
Let that be your Starbucks name forever.
Right.
Every time you go in there.
I love Silver Tree. Matter of fact, when we end this episode, I'm going to Google Silver Tree because I need to know
about her.
All the things about Silver Tree.
She's amazing.
Okay, any educational pieces for you that came up in this episode?
Well, I mean, it's certainly not strictly educational, but it goes back to your original concept of like, why are we as Americans, why do we care what they're doing with the royal family in Britain? Like,
right.
Why are we so obsessed? Why are we watching? Why do we care? Like, the roots of our story was trying to get away from them. Right. I mean, like if you think about the I mean, not our story as Black Americans, but like the American story. The whole point was to get away from them. And now we're like, but we will worship you from a distant shore.
Yeah. The oppression of your great, great, great grandfather. Like, we wanted no parts of him.
None of that.
But your great, great, great grandchildren, yes, tell us more.
Yeah, we can't wait to see their weddings.
Right. Tell us more. So scientifically, science is now becoming more interested in the idea of love and the idea of relationships. We're now understanding how the mind works and how chemicals in the body are released when we meet someone we like, and there's this new relationship energy. And then a part of that research then is about what happens when that new relationship
wanes,
right? Like have you built enough of a structure to maintain and to continue to grow in love after that new relationship energy has sort of waned? So I one of my favorite things to talk about is relationships, and Estelle, I always get it mixed up. Esther Perel. Like, she does a lot of work in, like, how do long-term relationships keep the passion and
She's
keep
awesome.
the fire? Because this episode was very much about new love, right? Like, was very much about the excitement and the newness of love. And science, I just like that science is now reaching these areas in our life that I think a lot of people thought science wasn't equipped to handle. Like, I think people thought like science was about the rigor, the material things. But the mind, right, is like, for me, I think the mind is the final frontier. Like, people think space is the final frontier. Like, how does the mind work? How does the mind, like, how do we fall in love? Like, these are questions that I think science is going to tell us a lot about in the near future.
I can't wait.
Okay. I think I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Was this a one episode stand? Or are you going to keep watching?
I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to watch the whole thing.
Yeah. How many shows?
Even if we had done it for the show, I was going to do it. I don't know how many episodes it is, but I'm gonna watch.
Because I was thinking, what are they going to talk about? Like, I just like what? Like how? I feel like we got it. Like, I feel like we got it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we got it.
Oh my gosh. So Luther, it sounds like you are one and done here.
Well, no, I'm gonna watch more. Actually, I'm gonna surprise everyone. I'm gonna watch more because of what you initially talked about. That she's black, and they didn't cover explicitly the racism.
Yeah, they haven't gotten
in the first episode, and I know that was a big deal. I just remember that being a big deal.
Huge.
If they force me to sit through a lot of lovey-dovey stuff, and the funny thing is, I actually love too, but I don't like produced love, and I think a lot of this is going to be produced love. So if they make me sit through a lot of that, I'll probably get disinterested. But I'm I am interested in the racial impact of this relationship. So
I think they're going to give it to you. I mean, I'm guessing you didn't watch the Oprah special where they gave their interview.
Did not.
I mean, they talked. I figured, but they gave us a lot of just the impact of racism in the country, racism within the family and the firm, that impacted Meghan so dramatically. Yeah, you'll hang in there. Hang in there.
Hang in there. Hang in there. Okay. I think that's it. Anything else we needed to cover?
That's it.
All right. Thank you all for listening to One Episode Stand. If you enjoyed this episode, you can subscribe to the podcast to be alerted when new episodes drop. If you're listening on iTunes, please give us a rating. The theme music is Freedom by Paradox Hip Hop, and we'll be back next time with another series premiere. Jobina, let's end on this. Every story has a moral. What was the moral of this episode?
I think the moral of this episode was, even if your family is a 1,000-year-old institution, which for none of us that is likely the case, be yourself. Like, you can break from the mold. You can walk away with certain things that you value and certain things that you want to leave behind. I think it's incumbent upon every adult to look back at the way that they were raised and the family that they grew up in and say, what was great about this that I want to carry forward? And what was not great about this that I want to leave behind and chart my own course? So I know I usually pick something silly for the moral, but that is my moral and my message to the listeners.
My moral is, get you a good black woman in your life.
Yes.
H saw him a fine black woman, and he was on it, and it changed his life. Look how happy he is in the documentary.
Like, over the top,
my dude is happy. Wait. Okay, so I have to wait. We have to talk about this. Have you seen the clip of the People's Court bailiff who? So there's a People's Court case.
Okay, I gotta look this up.
And the judge is talking about how the judge is like kind of reprimanding one of the clients or one of the defendant or whatever about how a lot of people are, happily married. Like, people are happy to marry. Like, what are you talking about? And she says, like, look at the bailiff here, James. Like, he's happy. And the person says, like, he doesn't look happy. Like, he does not look happy at all. Well, the bailiff is like, what? Like, what do you mean I don't look happy? He smiled, look happy. So then they cut the Instagram video cuts to like 4 years later where this bailiff has killed his wife.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God. Clearly he was not happy.
He was not happy.
What?
Yes. It is so like wow. Like and this guy just happened to see he doesn't look happy.
He's like, nope. I think
I see through all
you're
your
wrong on this one,
foolishness.
Judge. Yeah, James is unhappy.
But back to the moral. Get you a good black woman and you will be happy.
Change your life. She'll change your life.
All right, see y'all.
Bye, everybody.